Oh yeah. It wouldn't exactly the Chat GPT images wouldn't let me create a Legend of Zelda version, a Link version of myself. Uh, so yeah, I guess the copyright protections are getting denser and denser, and I suppose that the AI landscape will become less and less like the Wild Wild West, and so yeah. Um, as you know from bureaucrats and technocrats, is that politicians hate stuff they can't control. So and so do just people in general that are controlling. They don't like stuff that they cannot directly tax or control. They can't stand anything like that. So that's why that has to be regulated very quickly. Of course, regulation always comes in the form of we got to protect the children and the women and the community and all that. So I think regulations are bad for creativity, but they're good for Hollywood. They're good for creative people because their content is copyright protected more. And it's good to stop, child molesters from making kiddie porn and shit and stuff like that. So there are some benefits to heavy regulation, but I think sometimes in the Wild Wild West, you know, there are some exciting adventures, and yeah. So there's some good things from heavy regulation, like protecting the children and from the scourge of kiddie porn, AI generated filth content, uh, illegal content. May I come aboard? Ooh, what a poo poo head. Mr. Roboto, Mr. Alarigato, Mr. Roboto. Did they ever play that in Did they play the stick song in Mr. Robot? I haven't watched that show, but I heard it was great. Yeah, I really like Remy Malik. I know the last James Bond movie was kind of it was all right, but yeah, I mean Saverin was okay. It was just a pretty you know the whole plot of your the villain from your past comes back to destroy take over the world. That shit's been done like a bajillion times in movies, so it's not exactly the most, but it's not the most original of plots ever. And so, you know, it's kind of like the Harry Potter plot, like the demon from your childhood comes back to haunt you when you're an adult. It's like the Harry Potter thing, and it's just kind of cliche by now. Maybe it was original back, 10, 20 years ago or something, but not anymore. But Remy Malik, I think you could hand a like a piece of shit on fire, and he would turn it into something acceptable. I think he's that talented of an actor. Well, I crossed over here to battle the dude, so I might as well head that way. Yeah. I, I saw the story about Matthew McConaughey copywriting himself. Matthew McConaughey copywriting himself so that yeah. So basically that so he and his lawyers could sue people using his image and his voice and his likeness to create content. So yeah. Yeah, but he's a rich, wealthy man, you know. So what does that mean for people that aren't rich, wealthy men? So that is, an issue. Well, I want this bad boy, but this is kind of a weak weapon. This weapon kind of blows. Let's drop that. Let's get these slay more. It's time to slay more. Yes. So what is it like? Rich people can protect themselves against AI identity theft, or but your daughter who's like in middle school, the boys can use the AI to make nudes of her or whatever. I don't get it. Uh, yeah. So with all these articles on sonic weapons, whether the Havana syndrome or the Venezuelan operation, I mean, I do believe that you could use brain frequencies, sonic frequencies, to not just in a debilitating manner, but also you could use it as a enhancing. Uh, yeah, you could use it as something that enhances people's brains. So and creates more neuronic pathways in the brain to make someone smarter too, or some form of sonic therapy. I'm sure there's all sorts of musical vibrational usage for sound. So that's why people enjoy music so much. I think a lot of people really enjoy music, even if they're not even musicians or have an ear for that sort of thing. There's been a lot of helicopters flying all over the place. I mean, not just because it's a clear day, but there's been like a helicopter flying over here, God, like almost every hour. Is it like Apache and Black Hawk helicopters? Are they getting ready to go to war? What's going on? I don't even live. I mean, I'm just living in Houston, Texas. I don't even live by a military base, so at least not anywhere near, close. I, I I guess we're going to war with Iran. So the IRGC, yeah, a lot of black helicopters today. I'm not getting paranoid like X Files, but it's something's going down. I don't think a lot of these dark helicopters flying by at a high rate of speed are just pleasure cruises. I highly doubt that. That is just an old man from the local airport farting around on a Thursday night, or Thursday. Well, I don't mean to be like the X Files, but like the X Files revival. It'll happen on a Friday. No. I don't know if that's when the invasion is. I mean, I'm sorry, not the invasion, the strikes. I know the assets are moving into the Mideast region. This guy's whooping my ass. That's no joke. Get like whooping my ass, and then I'd get back up, and then he'd like whoop my ass, and then, like got a pretty serious beat down. These big moblin boys. Moblin boys, what you gonna do when he kicks you in the face? Being a former 1980s person, kid back in the day, Gremlins, they actually the modern Ganon's henchmen, they look like Gremlins a lot, except with the Ganon pig makeover. Gremlins with a pig makeover, yeah. They look a lot like Gremlins though. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I often joke about the Gremlins 3 trailer, and then I even put one together. I spliced some. It was before AI and before there was like copyright guide rails. Um, that I think they could still put a copyright claim on your channel, but I don't think they could give you a strike if you just made up some like fake ass trailer like in Gremlins 3 or Independence Day 3D or Wayne's World 3 Homeless. So what I would do is I would use my phone and then get the clips together, and then they had Zach Galligan with Gizmo doing some commercials where he's like a father and he has a daughter, and there's no Phoebe Cates because Kevin Kline was like, she's all mine, baby. Like I'm not letting this kitty out. I don't want anybody get this action. She's mine. So, and she like retired from acting. Probably her husband was like, hey, you don't have to act anymore. Just raise the kids. I mean, it's good. It's good for that family, good for the kids. But yeah, she's not really released out of her habitat by her husband. Yeah, some guys just don't want for other guys to see the goods, at all. And yeah. Either it's a mutual agreement or it's insecurity. But I mean, in this case, it looks like a mutual agreement, though. Like she just retired and quit acting so she could raise the kids because that was the proper thing to do. So I respect that. But so it's just Zach Galligan and then Gizmo and then some like kind of hot young actress playing his daughter. And it was I don't remember even what the commercials were for. Was it food or it might have been like Christmas ads? I want to say. I forgot what product though. So there had been like rumors of Gremlins movies for years, but it just never quite got off the ground. Yeah. Oh, I read like in fifth grade. I read Gremlins 2, the new batch. Oh man, and I love that fucking movie with Christopher Lee and Phoebe Cates wasn't locked up in her prison yet by Kevin Kline, so she was allowed to come out and have the world see her beauty, witness her beauty again. She was allowed that one time to come out and get a paycheck and be seen by other people before she quit and retired. She could have kept on going probably pretty easily, but you know, got to raise the kids. And so some people realize what the most important thing is, and then some people will be like Taylor Swift and probably maybe never have kids, and she'll just be obsessed with shaking her ass and making a new album instead of and making another $1 billion instead of having children. So you know, probably she might end up like Stevie Nicks, like no kids and just like relentlessly touring, trying to be a diva queen or a show woman, not a show girl anymore. A show woman, a show. Well, you can't even say show grandma, just show old lady. Well, if she gets married and has a few children, I'll say, okay, she's not gay. I'll officially retire that she's not a lesbian. The lesbian theory that I have about Taylor Swift. So I heard that Mr. Robot was one of the best shows ever, and then my one of my friends who was in tech wouldn't stop talking about Mr. Robot. Oh, it's so good. Oh man, and I was like, oh wow. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd love to turn you on. Tune in to Star Trek The Next Generation, where you get to experience poetry. Counselor Deanna Troy, looking sexy, doing yoga and sensual exercises. And then my favorite part, they're like, and Worf getting his ass kicked a lot. That was probably my favorite part. Like, yeah, that is funny. One of the strongest characters in the show getting his ass kicked all the time. That was pretty hilarious. Yeah, they just in Star Trek: The Next Generation, they were trying to show how powerful the enemy was by kicking Worf's ass as an example. Yeah, that was the whole point of it. And Data the android is pretty strong in one-on-one combat, but he can't really take on entire armies. And so because, even a machine has limitations. Plus, I mean, if you think about it, yeah, I mean, the biological weaknesses of soldiers is well known, and human beings, those are very well known. But I mean, it seems like the technological weakness of cyborgs or androids, you could probably use electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, or some kind of electrical charge or weapon to short circuit their machinery. So. But I suppose that cyborgs and androids would just get stronger, faster, better. Oh. Fitter, happier, more productive. Still goes to supermarket on Sundays. Still kisses with saliva. Fond, but not in love. Fitter, happier, more productive. The Hunter Shield? The Radiohead? Yeah, that's from Like a Pig in a Cage on Antibiotics. That was OK Computer from 1997. Yeah. I always loved that little poem. Fitter, happier. It was funny that I was talking about Flea last night, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because, I just listened to a new Flea track with Tom York of Radiohead. Yeah, I tied everything all together, huh? Yeah, I just proved that everything and everybody is all connected. So yeah, there it is. But I've talked about the 6 degrees of separation before, which is a well-known social theory. Six degrees of separation is that weird event where two people that were like in kindergarten go on vacation at the same time in Germany, and they stay at the same hotel. And it's bizarre because it's like, hey, is that Is that Billy? Billy, I haven't seen you since third grade back in Smithtown. It's like, what are you doing here? And it's those weird encounters like that you can't really rationalize like what's happening. You just know that somehow, uh, coincidentally, you went to school with somebody, and then coincidentally, you're in another state or you're in another country, and you're meeting the person again for some reason, but you don't even know why, because it's bizarre. So that's when somebody goes, oh, and that's when people they invented the convenient maxim, the convenient saying, oh, it's a small world after all, to kind of explain, you know, to try to explain away coincidental voodoo. So that was so that humans could try to rationalize coincidental or random events that don't seem to make sense, like random meetings that should not really be happening. Like you might say, like, oh man, if I go to China, if I go to the Great Wall of China, if I take a vacation to the Great Wall of China, then I bet you I won't know anybody there. I bet you. And then all of a sudden you see, like, somebody from your hometown. You're like, what the fuck? I thought I was getting away from familiar things. It's like, well, may, maybe sometimes you do and sometimes you don't, but maybe women with restraining orders, they're like, he'll never find me here. And then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh. What is my ex doing here? He shouldn't be here. Well, stalkers are trying to get near certain people intentionally, though. Yeah, so that's a bit different. So is Trump ready to is he about to strike again during the weekend? Wow. Hmm. This year isn't striking out. I guess it's a statement. America's strong on America's 250th anniversary, so it will be an aggressive year militarily, just because it has to be. It's a necessity, but also it's kind of like it's America's birthday, so you're gonna America's enemies are really gonna feel it this year. Really, really, America's adversaries are really gonna be hit hard this year. This is not gonna be a great year for them. It's not gonna be a great year for Iran, North Korea, China, and the Russian Federation. I'll say that. Yeah, I mean, like every single country that's having some gigantic national anniversary, whether it's China celebrating 100 years of communism, or if it's um, the Russian Federation celebrating the defeat of the Nazis, or whatever, typically those include gigantic military displays and aggressive actions. So this is definitely going to be like the Romulans announcing to the Federation in Star Trek: The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 26, "We're back." So it's definitely kind of like an announcement that America is like on the resurgent again. So it's a gigantic announcement to America's enemies. Yeah, so I wonder what the military plan is going to be. I guess um, you just wipe out the regime. I mean, you just blow up the ayatollahs and the shahs and the mullahs and the IRG. Uh, so I suppose you just blow the shit out of it, the IRGC. And so I think that's the plan, right? Just send in the fighter jets and launch the missile strikes and destroy the regime militarily and capture the leadership and round them up and string them up by the Delta Force or the Navy SEALs or whatever. So that's what's going to happen. Probably. It hasn't happened yet because, you got to plan it, and of course, the Trump administration and the United States military does not want people to know when and where it's going to happen and who. The Swallow Bowl. Ooh. Okay, let's get that bad boy in there. Blow up boxes. Ah. Yeah, I think when a lot of these regime change and uh, acquisitions go down, and and the Greenland situation with the Western Alliance, I think after all that is quieted, then I think Donald Trump and the Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice will turn their attention to the Minnesota fraudsters, Tim Waltz and Ilhan Omar and Jacob Fry. Yeah, and those like $10 billion Somali fraud, and I think they're going to get the book thrown at them. Yeah. Well, remember the oath to the United States of America and the U.S. Constitution is to fight enemies, domestic and foreign. So both foreign and domestic. Wow, wow. Let's get those. Is it the Grand Pope? Uh, uh, so probably Minnesota fraud is in the crosshairs of the Trump administration, but it's sort of not as important as acquiring uh, land, allies, and critical resources like rare earth minerals and metals for semiconductors and advanced technology for the building of this monstrous AI beast. So basically, all the governments of the earth are in a race to build an alien intelligence which may destroy all human life on earth. Yeah, I know it sounds like a really bad sci-fi movie, but it's real. But whoever stays behind will lose. Yeah, those who choose to remain in a cave or a cabin in the forest, still the robots are still coming for you, whether you're Henry David Thoreau or Ted Kaczynski or whoever. It's still coming whether you like it or not. Speaking of which, Walmart is going to start utilizing the drone technology more and more. I think elderly people are really going to love this, all the robots helping, and they're going to love these like drone delivery services and shit. Like imagine an elderly person and just the struggle of going to the pharmacy and picking up the prescription. I mean just that, imagine the drone delivered drugs for their to help with their better health and wow. Chill. Uh-oh. Boom, yoing. Yeah, I used to listen to Real Coffee with Scott Adams every day. His ex-wife and their buddies are trying to create this Scott Adams school or some sort. But it may be for altruistic reasons. It may not be because um, they're just trying to milk some money out. I think it's the guy had money out the ass, at least $5 million or so. So it's not like he was short on bucks and he couldn't bury his own self. But yeah, he definitely had the 8 to 10 thou for burial for sure. But I don't think it's his friends or family is just trying to bilk his name to get loaded. I don't think that's what it is either. I think it's some charming thing where they keep his podcast going to like keep his spirit alive or whatever. That sort of bullshit. And I don't know how long the podcast would actually make money or have enough viewers to justify its own existence. But hey, they got control of Scott Adams' podcast, and that's what they decided. Or maybe that was his last will and testament. Can you make a Scott Adams school where you talk about my books and my legacy and my mottos and my legendary wisdom and intellect? And they were like, oh yeah, sure. And so no error, no foul. But I think if somebody's podcast, if they die, that it should probably close. Yeah, most people when they're dying, they would like some kind of privacy, but obviously that's not what Scott Adams wanted. Most people would just kind of say, "Hey, I'm dying." Yeah, and then so I'm gonna get real sick and I'm gonna die. So I'm not gonna do any. I'm gonna close the show, and most people would just do that, right? But Scott Adams was like on his final day alive. He was like, "Hey, everybody, I'm about to die. I can't be on the show today because I'm about to die." Ooh. Hmm. Yeah, I had this old buddy that when he would quit work, he would say, "I'm outie." He'd say, "I'm outie." Yeah, he became like my old buddy. Um, what he had a band called what was it called? Four Left Turns, and he was the bass player. He kind of looked like the bass player. He looked like John Lodge from the Moody Blues, and so he reminded me of that a lot. And yeah, it's too bad we weren't in a band together. We were pretty good buddies. Uh, oh yeah, but I wasn't really into music. I was like a music fan when we worked together, so he was probably already playing. But yeah, he went off to college or something like that. He became a marketeer at Pizza Hut, but he kept on playing like his hobby and formed a band. And then he gave me a great compliment. He listened to some of my stuff on SoundCloud and goes, "Hey man, you kind of sound like David Bowie, and I was like, oh, that's actually a compliment. That was nice of you to say that. And so Justin, uh, he would always say, I'm outie. So he became a Pizza Hut marketing executive. Can you believe that? I started laughing when I figured out his job was Pizza Hut marketing executive. I was like, that is so funny, dude. Hey, but it probably paid pretty good. It probably pays pretty good. So maybe, I don't know, enough to keep a wife and have a family, and at least enough to pay the bills and have a wife and a family, uh, and have a nice living there. So. Yeah. Yeah, what I find weird is like a lot of people that I worked at the movie theater with when I was like 17, 18, 19, 20, how many of them got marketing jobs? Like how many went to college and have marketing jobs? That's pretty crazy. The stupidest thing girls would tell me, like, and I would just look at them like, yeah, right. Even when I was 20, if girls said I'm going to be an actress, I would be like, yeah, like good luck. Like when I knew that they were, yeah, they were pretty, yeah, they were cute, but some of them, but I think they would break into Hollywood as actresses. I was like, nah. Like they would look kind of like Sarah Jessica Parker, but they wouldn't be that hot. And I was like, kind of. You're really cute. You're really nice. You're really hot, but you know, Harvey Weinstein's just gonna say, "Bend over," and out the casting couch, and he's. Oh yeah, yeah. Did Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, did they hang out? He must have definitely went to Booty Hole Island, underage women island, for sure. Him and Sean Combs, P Diddy, Puff Daddy or whatever. I bet they're all in a hot tub picture with Bill Clinton smoking a cigar with like underage girls everywhere. I love the light route. Okay, tonight's the $475,000 lottery. I played my combination. Uh, oh yeah. What would I do if I had that money? I would open up my own casting couch, my own cast, my own like yeah, the fake Houston, Texas fake casting couch. Just joking. So, any of you young ladies want to be a star? Yeah, I think now like people are more cautious. Like they don't like back in the old days. I think people would just go, "I want to be an actress. I want to be an actor," and like they would just be like, "Yeah, it's great industry. Like it's fantastic." I think after Harvey Weinstein and all that and Jeffrey Epstein, I think probably especially girls are a lot more cautious now. I don't even think it's the same industry like where you had Norman Reedus like you know just leave his hometown and just go out and just go out to LA and just couch surf until he got a break or or whatever. I think those days are like over. I want to say. Yeah, you always like hear these stories about people becoming like big musicians and or big movie stars eventually, and they're like couch surfing at Venice Beach and Los Angeles. Just living like the guy on the couch. Oh yeah, the guy on the couch is in is that half that's Stephen Wright on Half Baked. I forgot what he says. That's so funny. It's like I ate all your Fruit Loops. Sorry, or something. Or uh, maybe he writes something funnier like sorry, I used all your toilet paper or some shit. Guy on and then it's signed guy on the couch. So fuck that movie is so fucking hilarious. Half Baked, especially if you're stoned. I probably did watch The Big Lebowski ripped, but I don't know. It just no that movie is just bonkers. You don't even have to be. It might even be too weird of a movie to be ripped to because it's just too strange to be. If you're like super high. Oh, you didn't put in the flame emitter, huh? 10 o'clock. Say a good night to yeah. Oh, the Big Texas Freeze is going to be 29 on Saturday morning, so I got to cover up the plants tomorrow in the evening, I guess. I thought it was coming on Sunday morning for some reason, but it's actually coming Saturday morning. Okay, get out the device. Yeah, one of my buddy's bands, his friend's band was called A Prototype Called Device, or a prototype named Device. I remember that name because I was like, really? That's what you're gonna call your band? Whatever. A prototype called Device, name Device. Uh, Might as well just call your fucking shit Beans. Just name my fucking band Beans. Get a fuck. Like Austin, Texas, like Spoon. Just name it Spoon. Fork. No, I just gonna line Beans. It's the same shit. Ah, no. Okay. We can get through this tree, can we? All right, cool. We're out of the woods. It's like a Tim Burton fever dream over here. Boys. We got an enemy camp over here. It's like a small one. Yeah. Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, it seems like those two guys would have definitely hung out. Seems like they definitely would have crossed paths at some point. And the men had two things in common: their love of their wealth and their love of women and underage women. So that would have brought them together, I think. A nexus of evil. Ooh. I'm intrigued. Give me an idea. Yeah, in this game, you get to be more like Green Lantern. Come up with your own stuff. Oh, he can do that. All right. Well, he can do that, huh? He can just blow me off. Touche. Ooh. Not very effective, huh? Nope. Not really. Yeah, I don't think that Pizza Hut is really. I mean, it's still around, but it's not to its. I used to hear about this glorious Pizza Hut, and that wasn't so automated. That had style, like in uh, the old Pizza Huts. In the like the families would go to the Pizza Hut. They would have a jukebox. Like they would serve beer. Um, families and friends and children and everybody would go there like a community of Pizza Hut people, and they would have such a great time at this Pizza Hut, and it was like the home away from home, and so I used to hear like the legend of Pizza Hut, like what it used to be. Like the the Pizza Hut was not only the place to party, but it was the place for the family and friends and lovers to gather, and children, and the Pizza Hut, like the decor and the hut, and the red everywhere. It was so iconic. The music, the beer, the sodas, everything was just, you know. So you used to hear this like Pizza Hut, not a place that you just order from your app and it's like cold and machine like and mechanical, but people would actually get together and gather at the Pizza Hut, like friends and associates and business people and colleagues and clergy people, religious people, et cetera, et cetera, and on and on. Now, like pizza places, they're just like these boxy, just soulless things. There's still some like old school Pizza Huts, obviously, that still exist, but especially in small. Usually, I would see the old school Pizza Huts with the signature roof and everything. I would see those kind of old school Pizza Huts mainly in like driving through small towns. So usually don't see that kind of style being built anymore, and definitely not in major metropolitan cities. Oh, the joke I put on the Sonic Weapon article for Fox News, I said, um, Instead of the band Sonic Youth, I put, oh, I guess they had the Sonic Elders. And I was just going to see if anybody got the reference. It might, sometimes maybe the reference, not all the people get it. So. Sturdy, long stick. Oh, my sword glows when danger is near, like Sting from The Lord of the Rings. Or when it's running out of energy, I guess too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we still have to remember the February 21st, 1986 Nintendo Entertainment System, the Japanese release of the video game Legend of Zelda. Okay. The foundational entry in the beloved Nintendo franchise was released for Famicom, so I have to, remember that. The 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I mean, who knows if this Gremlins is ever happening? Gremlins 3. I don't know. It was like in the first Gremlins movie, the Zach Galligan is like a teen, or he's like in high school or college. And then in the second one, it was like he moved to the big city and he's with his girlfriend and he's trying to make it in this Clamp Corp, which is supposed to be a joke on Trump, I guess. Instead of Trump, they call him Clamp. Yeah, it is pretty funny. So you could see like there was this like flow. It's like at first he's with his parents in a small town, and then he's trying to make it with his girlfriend in New York City. And then, so the third one, yeah, when there's so much time has passed, it's like sometimes they just say, well, so much time has passed, so we're not going to do a third movie. And so it'll either happen or it won't. Oh my God. Gremlins 3 movie sets November 2027 release date. Retrieved November 6, 2025. Huh. Chris Columbus, screenwriter of the original film, will direct. Steven Spielberg will executive produce. Announced that the third Gremlins movie is officially in the works, slated for release on November 19th, 2027. Bam, bam. Okay, there it is. Uh, it says it's going to ignore the events of. Oh, it says it's a sequel to Gremlins 1984. Are they going to really? They're really going to. I don't know if they're going to totally ignore the events of the Gremlins 2: A New Batch. I hope they don't ignore that one because that one's really really. It's such a. I think Gremlins 2: A New Batch is such a fantastic parody and comedy all and satire, but it's also super super colorful and entertaining and funny. And and Gremlins can always have that cross between scary and funny. So it's like a dark comedy, black comedy. And Christopher Lee was in Gremlins 2: A New Batch. I mean, that was just uh, absolutely brilliant. The actor who played Clamp, which is a spoof on Trump, was absolutely perfecto. Yeah. Oh yeah. John Glover. Yeah, he was genius. Oh, it has Robert Picardo in it. Oh wow. Who else? All these actors and actresses were great. This Hulk Hogan's in it. Oh, that's even better. Robert Prosky, Dick Miller, amazing. Henry Gibson. Wow. Sylvester Stallone's in it. What? There were a lot of cameos, but I forgot like all the different cameos in it. All right, so well, I've been saying, are they going to make a Gremlins 3? Looks like uh, Christopher Columbus um, and Steven Spielberg are going to give it one last go. So that's great. And I assume that Zach Galifianakis is and his agent are waiting. And Phoebe Cates, I don't know, she might come out of retirement. I mean, a lot of people didn't think Rick Moranis would ever come out of retirement, but he did. So is she going to leave her mansion estate in France to make a movie? I don't know. Or leave her. Or kids are probably all grown up now, so maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah, her children of the Klein children are probably all grown up, and she's probably maybe one of those like wine moms, and she's kind of like, man, I need to get out of here for a little while. My marriage is getting a little stale. I need to spice things up. Yeah. Or maybe she likes tending the vineyard or whatever. Maybe she loves the mansion. Maybe she doesn't want to leave. But we'll see. We'll see what they do with the story and everything. Dun 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 dun. Looks like it's coming back. Gremlins 3. Yeah. There's not much time to make 1980s nostalgia pictures because everybody's getting too old or they died or they're going to die. So really, I think the 2020s will be the last like 1980s tribute uh, time. So where everyone's still alive, or most of the actors and actresses and producers and writers and people are still alive. So in the future that they might uh, probably entertainment companies uh, might do Gremlins. They might do um, Terminator and other 1980s properties, but a lot of the people that originally made them won't even still be alive anymore. And so after 2030, that will so maybe some of these IPs, these intellectual properties continue, these entertainment properties like Ghostbusters, but one day Bill Murray isn't going to be alive, and so or Dan Aykroyd or whoever. Yeah, it's pretty much to mine Zonite. I don't know where the last heart in the game is, so kind of on a quest for the last heart, but I don't really even know where to begin. Well, there's an adventure log, huh? Okay. Side adventures. Oh, they have a lot of side adventures I haven't done, huh? Shrine quests. Is there anything? Okay. Uh, uh, is there some ones I haven't done yet? Mm, mm, mm. Oh, how many? Well, hmm. Okay, I've completed all the shrine quests. Hmm. So where's? Oh, there's a Oh, it tells you where to go. Okay. Oh well, I don't have max stamina. Yeah, I'm missing. Okay, you can't have max hearts and max stamina, so that means I can still get a heart, I think. So I don't know. I'm not in a methodic mood right now, so I don't feel like. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and star the page so I can go back to it later. Before the Frogs fight, I never thought when I was working at the movie theaters when Meet the Fockers came out when I was like 20 or whatever. I never thought that there would be like an old ass Robert De Niro, and they would make a movie called The Last of the Fockers. I never thought that would ever happen. Not in a million years. After Meet the Fockers, I was really surprised there'd be a second one and a third one. It's really that there'd be little Fockers and all that bullshit. Somebody was keeping I guess it was Ben Stiller keeping and Robert De Niro keeping the Fokker franchise. I guess they were the motherfuckers. Yeah. I thought that would get old after a while, like the supposedly tough CIA guy. Saying like, "Are you on pot, Fokker?" Yeah, I thought it would get old, but apparently somebody's going to go watch that shit. Blythe Danner and all that. Somebody's watching that shit somewhere. What's the Meet the Parents? Oh, okay. It's Meet the Parents. Meet the Fockers. Oh, okay. That's the next one. Little Fockers. Oh, the fourth film's called Fokker in Law. Yeah. They should just call the last one Motherfuckers. Meet the Parents. Yeah, that was the first movie, Meet the Parents, and it was Meet the Fockers. 2010, Little Fockers. And then in 2026, we're going to get this amazing movie called Fokker in Law. Oh, Blythe Danner's still alive. Gwyneth Paltrow's mom. Whoa, she is still alive. Okay, she's 82. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand. I guess it's to I guess elderly people go see it or something now. Yeah, it thrills the elderly people. They're excited. I should just write a letter, or give an email or something like, "Hey guys, you're not gonna make motherfuckers." Or just make it funnier, call it like father fuckers. Frox battle was louder than anticipated. It's like a frog platypus cyclops. I don't know what's going on, but I love it because it doesn't make any sense. Hell yeah. It's just pure creativity unleashed. It's not meant to be understood. So it wouldn't let me be Link in the AI because that's copyright, third-party materials, it was called. So I just said, well, put me in a Robin Hood type suit and in a medieval fantasy land, and it did it, holding a sword, and I even had my quiver of arrows. Yeah, because like the Legend of Zelda is basically it's a Japanese video game franchise based primarily on English and Japanese folklore, kind of blended together in a interesting synthesis. I'll get my ass kicked. Let's do that. I know what to do. It's just those similar to these singers. Oh, he just eats it. The blue-white frogs. They have like there's different colors of foxes. Oh. Got almost 1,800 zonite. Yeah. Master sword. Don't leave home without it. Wah, wah. And then, of course, Spaceballs 2 continues the 1980s the 1980s nostalgia films with some of the original creators. Even Mel Brooks, a creator that turns 100 years old in March. 100 years old. Wow. Amazing. No, I don't want that because I want to save that for a good weapon. We'll just give my boy something generic, run of the mill. Yeah, I think the recipe for the buns said that you could use regular flour, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it would have been better with bread flour or wheat flour. So, yeah, probably not going to try to make my own hamburger buns anytime soon. Not because I failed, but because it wasn't quite a smash hit either. So, well, it was my first time. So, the second time is going to be the most likely going to be a better experience. If we have bread flour, I bet it would be a lot better. Oh, you silly. Let it get away from you. All right. Let's recover our craft. Stuck in a gloom in a gloom bog. Gremlins 3 might not have Phoebe Cates, but it probably definitely has Zach Galligan. Um, an annoying trend I see in Hollywood is if there's another successful show with younger actors or actresses that they're just thrown in there to the 1980s project, like Jenna Ortega in Beetlejuice, another nostalgic uh, callback to the 1980s. Um, they always throw in somebody that's really recognizable, that's younger, that's a star. So they'll just throw in somebody like I think Spaceballs 2 has Josh Gad in it for some reason. I don't even like that actor. He's not necessarily young, but he's not like what they'll do is they'll make Gremlins 3, but they'll put like fucking Jack Black in it or some shit. Or I mean, he's like almost, going on 60, but they're putting him Minecraft movie was such a success that they're putting his ass and everything now, unfortunately. And I don't find him particularly funny either. Um, so I'll be disappointed if Finn Wolfhard or Jenna Ortega or Jack Black or Josh Gad is in Gremlins 3. I'll say, oh God, not again. Not again. Or if inexplicably what's left of Ariana Grande ends up in there. So I hope they stick to the original cast who's still alive. You know, so that'd be cool. And if the sons and daughters of uh, Galligan and Phoebe Cates, the fictional characters, are unknowns, that's fine with me. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody known. Yeah, it would be nice if there were some people that weren't already wealthy and famous get a chance at a movie to have a career or something, you know? So, for change. I know Hollywood doesn't like that, giving people opportunities that are new, uh, unless they have to, but that'd be nice. Instead, they want to give you a 85-year-old. They want to give people 85-year-old Robert De Niro. I mean, I think Jenna Ortega's fine. I mean, like, she's hot, you know. If she's in the movie, I mean, I just hope the casting makes sense. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's tricky doing a trilogy with such gigantic time jumps. So if you have a character that's like 25 and then he's like 30 in the next one, and then the main protagonist is like 60 years old in the next one, it's just kind of like, what happened in between? Like, but I mean, kind of the glorious part of the Gremlins is that the protagonist is important to defeat the Gremlins, the protagonist, but the thing that makes the movie so entertaining are Gizmo and the Gremlins. So those are the really the main characters of the show. So if they put Jack Black or like Josh Gad or Jenna Ortega or when Finn Wolfhard and they suck, then kind of it almost doesn't even matter because the show is about Gremlins. Oh, you got me, huh? Dang. Or no, you got one of my boys, huh? My boys. kite shield. Yeah. I guess kite flying as a kid, it was so like it was so relaxing, and then it was kind of like so cool because you do it with your friends, or your mom and dad would teach you how to fly kites, and it would be kind of a moment, and you'd be outside, and the wind would be blowing, and it would just be a great like you typically those moments were like super fun. But there was something tense. There was something intense about kite flying, which is when you were a kid, you were so afraid like it wouldn't work, or you'd screw it up, or the weather wouldn't cooperate to make your kite fly. Because sometimes the weather can be uncooperative if you're trying to fly kites. Yeah, that was fun parasailing. Yeah, but I was the waters of like South Padre Island, Texas, are very shallow near the coast, and so I was like, oh shit, if I fell from this height, like I would just smack against the water. But I guess it's better than getting eaten by a shark, like that poor lady on vacation, just straight up eaten by the shark. Man, dun 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 dun, and like then her you just see the lady's leg in the water. You're like, oh fuck, it's horror. And then like the poor guy, like know that the lady just got you know basically bitten into by a massive shark, and he could see the blood loss, but he still tries to get her to the swimmer back to the shore, but he still thinks, oh my god, she's gonna be gone. And then he does get her help, but it's like too late because the shark already took a big ass bite of her, too big of a bite. So you can feel like the anguish in the rescuer's voice, the friend or the other swimmer's voice, like yeah. Yeah, I thought it would be better like in the Caribbean if you could see like the clear water. Because I was always afraid of murky waters, um, like the kinds you would have on the Texas coast and Galveston. It's very murky, so you don't know where the sharks are at. You don't know where the creatures are at. You can't see them, but maybe it's worse being able to see it. You can see what's eating you or what you're trying to swim away from. Maybe that's worse. There was that fun part on a Galveston day. Me and my buddies, like when we were kids or teenagers, like we would get into a group, and then we would swim the warm waters and the shallows and the waves, and then we'd swim like to the horizon, and then we would swim until like the until the shallow part dropped off into the deeper part, and then the water would get really really cold, and we would enjoy doing that, going out that far, and then swimming back. But hopefully not carried off by a riptide. Because a riptide could take you all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America. I backslid for a second there, my memory. Not as bad as calling the Russian Federation the Soviet Union, but still. Looks like my health is shit. I don't need to fight Colgera. They're like, what should we call this beast? Name him after a toothpaste. Great idea. Deep fried drumstick. Okay, 46 degrees, and then the big freeze comes. Okay, it says that the freeze is coming Sunday, and then other reports say Saturday is going to drop off. It's weird. Okay, 10-day weather forecast. What is it? My phone and the weather channel is not. Yeah, Saturday the 17th, 29, and then Saturday on my phone says 39 degrees. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and trust the weather channel for the most accurate forecast. So I'm gonna cover up all the plants on tomorrow, or maybe I'll catch a forecast. Yeah, sometime in the afternoon, I guess, and then decide what's up. Got the pose. Got the hose. $11 o'clock. Bum, bum. Gotta turn in because gotta get up and do some stuff. So. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have my mid pants on. Mid pants. Need my helmet too. Oh, I don't have a. Oh, there it is. Dang. I don't have any fire pants. Sure fins, lava falls. Okay. Dude. Gotta cool things down a bit with my cross talus hammer. Oh, there's something here. Large crystallized charge. Yeah, it's kind of like this weird thing. Like if you think about an iconic 1980s show with Baio called Charles in Charge, the weirdest thing is like they had all these like super hot blonde chicks on that show, and really beautiful women on there, especially Nicole Eggert. The weirdest thing is that she levied, allegations against Scott Baio, and it's like if I had my own show and there was like hot blonde chicks everywhere, that were over 17 or over 18, that would be hard to like ignore the facts of that situation. You know, I'm not saying it would be a license to be a creep and but I'm saying like the situation is the situation. The situation is blonde babes everywhere, and male has his own show, and so what do you think is going to happen in that situation eventually? I mean, eventually when Eve is going through the Garden of Eden, she's going to say, "Huh, I might want to eat an apple." And a guy kind of in a near a cherry tree might say, "Hey, I might want to try a cherry." So that's all I'm saying. And it seems pretty natural that like that would happen. So I don't know. It seems like Nicole Eggert was trying to just get back at Scott Baio for not marrying her or some shit. Like it seems like a personal thing, like a personal beef. So I think after 2030, people will still, maybe there'll be like vaporwave artists that try to simulate the 1980s. Maybe there'll be, girls trying to dress like 1980s fashions. You know, maybe there'll be some guys pretending, "Hey, man, I'm living in the 80s," and they'll get like a 1980s car and they'll dress like they're 1980s boys and shit like that. There might be like new series on Netflix that are set in the 80s, like Stranger Things. There might be, there still might be shows and movies based around 1980s nostalgia, and that are based on this like rose-colored glasses version of the 1980s, which is, I don't know, some of that rose-colored glasses is deserved, but in real reality, there's no such thing necessarily as the perfect times, but like this fantasy that there's like an ultimate idealized, almost perfect times is, I'm not saying it's entirely a fantasy. But let's say the 1980s was a movie, and if you lived through it, you'd probably give the movie an A, you know, an A or an A plus. So there is that. And if the 2020s was a movie, everybody would probably give it an F. So in comparison, but it basically everything just kind of boils down to socioeconomics. ultimately speaking. So if the quality of the socioeconomics is really poor, then people will say that a decade or a period of time is shit. And then if the socioeconomics is very good or great, then people will say that it was wonderful times. So I think after 2030 that the people that wanted to make money in the entertainment industry, remembering the greatness and unique um, style of the 1980s, most of them will be either too old or dead, and so it will be people that don't really remember the 1980s, and so it'll start to lose its authenticity. It'll look more and more like people are just imagining a decade that they didn't even live in. So it will become more synthetic and more facsimile than actual parallels to the actual reality of the time. Like I'm sure if a cowboy, I'm sure like if a real cowboy from the 1860s uh, was resurrected or time traveled to the 2020s and saw a movie about or saw like a Netflix like Western series, he'd be like, what? It wasn't like that at all. You got the cows all wrong. Say like, that's not how the saloon would be at all. Like 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 the time traveler would probably be offended, like cowboys and Indians if they actually saw like a Western movie. Maybe as an example. It's like World War II veterans going to see a World War II movie when they've actually been there. So okay, so there's like a specific uh, sequence of events I have to do to get the last heart. And but the trade off is that you cannot get in Tears of the Kingdom at least full stamina and full heart. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick full heart, and then my stamina wheel is not yet complete, so that means I can still get one last heart, I think. So yeah, down in the depths. Yeah, 11, 12. Yeah, if I'm gonna get up at 8 a.m. tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure I'm in bed by midnight. Not because I'm like a super old fart. It's just that it just works better that way. Uh, um, yeah, Rick Beato was reminiscing. He said that some group ripped off "Till Tuesday" Voices Carry. Yeah, it's the song is called Voices Carry, and the band is called Till Tuesday. My uh, mother or my stepfather had that cassette tape, and I remember driving my mom's Chevy truck from 1995. She had this emerald, like this Wizard of Oz type truck. It was like this beautiful. My grandpa still has it, even though he fixed it up and was driving it around. But he's getting dementia, and he's had uh, cancer of the anus, so he keeps shitting his pants and all this embarrassing stuff. So yeah, I don't know. That'd be kind of sad if he. No, I think if. Oh, you know what? I think if he died when he passes away one day, I think he's probably going to give that truck to his daughter. I doubt he's going to will it back to my mother. So I think yeah, I think the daughter's going to get most of everything, or they might all get together, and then some stuff might be like in the will negotiable, or I don't know exactly what the last will and testament of my grandpa and grandfather are. So, but when I was riding that 1995, that shimmering emerald truck, it was just gorgeous. I loved it too. It wasn't fun because it was really bulky. If it broke down, you would have to push it, or get a tow because it was super. So if something fucked up, um, yeah, the transmission went out or something, you'd be screwed because it was so heavy because the truck weighed a ton. And but man, it was. I think that's when my old boss Jeff, he'd say, "You're a truck driving man," and then he would say that to me, "You're a truck driving man," and I'd say, "Yeah, I guess I'm a truck driving man," whatever that means. He just like calling me truck driving man for some reason. He thought it was funny, I guess. The truck driving man. That guy was like Jeff was a guy that was always trying to be cool, but he was like a dork, and so it's like, why even try to be cool when you're like such a dork? Dorks always trying to be cool. Like total squares, like total normies are trying to be cool, and it's usually like falls on its face. They're trying too hard. And so I listened to that cassette tape by my mom or stepdad, Till Tuesday, Voices Carry. I'm kind of interested in a band that had such a gigantic one hit wonder, and and then like what the rest of the record sounds like. Okay, so they have one big smash hit, and then I thought to myself, like, okay, what does the rest of the sound, are there any other good songs on here? Just out of curiosity. And I don't think the rest of the album was bad. It might have sounded like some dated retro shit. Yeah, the singer was super hot and had an awesome voice. The super sexy lead singer of Till Tuesday. And then Rick Beato was like, "This should be #1 on Spotify. This song is awesome." Yeah, yeah, the song is awesome, but it, it's probably incredible when people think about it. Like the girl is smoking hot, but when you listen to it, you don't know if the is hot or not. And then when you look at the posters of the band, you're like, "Oh my gosh, she's fucking super hot." Oh, did I put food in there? I put food in here on accident. Oh, what happens? Does it make a milk? Oh shit! I never even tried that, dude. Oh, it just spits it back out. Huh? Oh, it doesn't even cook it for you, man. You didn't even cook. You didn't even microwave my shit. You didn't even bake my shit. This ain't no service. Are you putting food in there again? Oops. I just like was on this food. Nothing happens when you keep putting food in there. Oh, can you go inside there? I would. I don't know if I'd want to get stuck in there. Yeah, you should try that. Get stuck. Got go. Try to go inside. What if it's like magical mystery tour? You're like, whoa! I never knew about this part of the game. All right, now we did it the right way. We need some like more fans. Dude, you put food in there again? I've never put food in that many times. I guess I'm. Woo! All right. No, I keep pushing the wrong buttons. I guess I'm getting sleepy or something. It's like if you try not. Yeah. Yeah, because it's my step grandfather, so and my mother and my aunts and my cousin who my step grandfather raised my cousin, so I think she's going to be in the will too. So so like yeah, but I was just saying like that green truck was cool. So yeah, my grandparents put clauses in that nobody gets nothing until both parties are deceased. So that was their particular clause in their last will and testament. So uh, my grandma, I guess my grandpa and my grandma are both on their way out. My step grandfather and my grandma, but my grandma's in really bad shape though, and my step grandfather is barely functional, and he's getting worse too. So they're gonna be on their way out probably sooner rather than later. Uh, all right. Oh. Let's go to surf. Go to surf, baby. Surf on the turf. Sweet. Grateful me the fortress. A fortress. Oh, that's the water temple. Or I'm sorry, wind temple over there. Oh, water temple's over here. Yeah. And then the Temple of Doom is down there. Yeah, right. All right. So what is executive producer like Steven Spielberg? He's like the just means that yeah that he's in charge. Yeah, like his company is funding it, and he's got to green light the script and the casting and everything else. So he's still the boss man, and he's still Steven Spielberg, you know. He's still the legend, and he's working on another project, another one in the can, another one down the hatch. Yeah, it's nice. And one of those last 1980s nostalgia projects. Now I know there's all these commercials and jokes about a Home Alone 3 starring Macaulay Culkin, but yeah, if that 1990s nostalgia project happened, I'd think to myself, man, Hollywood's getting really desperate for these nostalgia projects. Yeah, what's up with Mattress Mac? Yeah, Jim McIngvale. Yeah, he's kind of like the Robert De Niro of furniture salesman, uh, of furniture retail. Built a furniture empire in Houston, Texas, from Gallery Furniture, and I think he is a multimillionaire. I don't know how many times over, but um, had these commercials in the 1980s, very iconic, where he would say, "And we'll save you money," and then he busts out like a whole wad of cash. Save you money. I think he's from Alabama. He's kind of redneckish. He kind of looks like a monkey with like kind of like big ass ears and so I'm not saying everybody looks like a primate or a monkey that comes out of Alabama. I'm just saying like that's what he looks like. So instead of retiring, even though he's had a lot of he's had a lot of health problems, you know, heart attacks and stuff because he's 74. And Mattress Mac, what's his name? Oh, he was in a movie. He was in Sidekicks, really, with Chuck Norris and Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Land. Oh, uh, guy from Sequest DSV. Is it Brandon Landis or it's not his name? Oh, Jonathan Brandis. Oops, you called him Brandon Brandis. That didn't make any sense. Oh, that had Danica McKellar winning from the Wonder Years. Bo Bridges. Oh my God. Joe Piscopo, huh? Wow. And Mattress Mac in his first and only acting credit there. That's funny. So this dude doesn't like retire. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to retire. He just wants to be famous. So he cares more, really less about his health and less about retirement. And he cares more about being in the Houston limelight. So yeah, so he keeps on doing commercials. He keeps on trying to do these outrageous sports bets. Keeps trying to get more and more attention, but it never seems to be enough. And he wants to be seen. He wants to be known, and he wants to be known for doing outrageous sports bets and outrageous big balls, big player shit. All right. Yeah. Well, he just keeps on going. The Energizer Bunny. He ain't stopping until the good Lord strikes him down. Yeah. Well, his work ethic. I mean, is it the desire for fame, or is it just he's got old school, like pretty hardcore regimented work ethic? Could be that too. He's got that like hardcore Puritan work ethic where he can't just retire, even though he's got plenty of money to do it many times over. But it could be that he's addicted to fame, though. That could be also. Um, oh, when that happens, the wheel breaks off. I didn't create my separate escape vehicle, my separate escape pod. Escape god. That didn't make any sense, but there's escape pod, so you can say escape god. Ooh. Look at some interesting sky ruins. It's etched with ancient Hyrulean text. You cannot read it. Hyrulean. It's an ancient Helian dialect. What a fascinating journey to the snowlands on the overworld. Start using the Legend of Zelda terminology. It's either you savvy, you fathom, or you don't. There's no in between. Yeah, that was great. Johnny Depp going, "You savvy?" The Pirates, "You savvy?" He does more like he's like intoxicated. Yeah. I guess the drunk gets the bad rap, But I'm not saying Johnny Depp is like doing a great job like representing drunks, but or all I'm saying is like there are like functional drinkers that enjoy it as a leisurely pleasure, but they take care of they make a lot of money and they pay their taxes and they uh, you know do all the good things that society tells people to do. What makes a person a good national citizen or a good person in the world? And so, definitely liquor and alcohol, they're toxins. They're not good for people. So, but I think people like Johnny Depp or Bill Maher or Joe Rogan or um, maybe not Kiefer Sutherland so much. He kind of has been spiraling into violence and things of that nature. Public outbursts and violence and driving drunk, and that's not. But I'm talking about more like Johnny Depp, like you just finished a movie and you're going back to your mansion uh, and you're just getting a little drunk, you know. I don't see anything really. You're going into your wine cellar and you're getting your finest chateau, whatever. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that, in my opinion. I don't think it's necessarily good for you, but I don't think it's like the epitome of evil either. Yeah. Okay, 11:36. So we're gonna go ahead and. It's a little bit too loud for me. Oh, they're gonna pay for that. I just want to find like the Ewok horn blowers. Okay. Get the He-Man sword. I have the power of Grayskull. I have the power of PayPal. Oh no, it's Grayskull. No, it was PayPal when you got older though. When I was 5, it was Grayskull. But when you're 45, it's PayPal. By the power of PayPal. Yeah. Well, like I always wondered, like what the new crisis for the Democrats to seize power, to try to get them reelected. What kind of crises will happen this year? This one's been brewing for a long time. Hackers hacking into AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Yeah, that one seems to come up a lot. I don't know if that's foreign adversaries, Russian hackers or Chinese hackers, North Korean hackers, black hats within the United States. I don't know where it's really coming from, but it does seem like a theme is that you get people addicted to technology and to the internet and internet services and mobile phones and so on, and then we take away all that, and then so it's like a child without clothes. It's like a little baby naked that's used to having something, and then they take it all away. And I think that's a psychological form of control. Now, I don't really panic if a service is out. I am concerned that systems have been compromised, but literally there are people in my family that will absolutely panic because their business relies on it, and that's how they conduct their affairs, and they're dependent and reliant, and when these systems go down, they have a freaking cow. Now, me, I do remember the caveman times when all you needed was your spear and your horse. And so to me, I don't really freak as much because I don't have an entire business that's um, dependent on the internet, or dependent on uh, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon wireless services. My entire life is not built around Xfinity, uh, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. So I know that a computer phone is not something that I really need to survive. I know that I do not need artificial intelligence to survive. You just kind of inherently know that. Like, you know that you need water to survive, but you don't need AI. But that's just a add-on luxury at best, but not a necessity. Yeah, because I don't really think this Minnesota versus ICE thing is going to last in terms of some kind of. I don't think it's very useful for the Democrats to try to attack a federal agency. So I don't see that being beneficial to the Democrats to do that. Uh, yeah, there's this thing where people want to keep, the Democrats want to keep Obama enshrined in the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare. When a lot of people in this country don't care about Obama being enshrined as he wasn't a great president. He was just elected because he was half African, and that's it. He promised hope and change, but brought the country shit. So I personally don't want to enshrine Barack Hussein Obama in anything, especially the healthcare system. And so I think a lot of people agree with me on that. I don't want him to have statues and libraries and for doing basically jack shit or harming the United States of America. I want him to be known for being the fake ass race hoax charlatan that he is, the clown that he was. Yeah, so I least of all am not going to have my way to enshrine Barack Hussein Obama in healthcare, in libraries, in statues. I That's not what that's not a goal of my life. Let's say that I'm not supporting. I think the Democrats don't want to let go of the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare because they want to enshrine Obama as some sort of legend when he's just a race baiter, a hoaxer. And the Democrats try to create a Obama 2.0, but they often fail because Obama was a slick car salesman. He was a slick, well-educated lawyer, and his mom was white, and he had a Kenyan father, and that tricked a lot of American voters into voting for him. You can't do that trick again and say, "Hey, remember the last time you voted for a non-white guy? Let's do that." It was only novel the first time. After that, you can't just keep on repeating that formula. It doesn't work more than once. That parlor trick has already been done. It can't be done again, probably, unless people forget how bad Barack Hussein Obama was. Now, they haven't reverted to white male since Joe Biden. So they might try a gamble on a younger or ethnic female, Hispanic female, maybe AOC or something. They might try that, but they might do something slick like insert Gavin Newsom, insert a white guy in there, and you know, hope that people don't notice that they're throwing a white dude in there. Or maybe they'll do the Joe Biden Harris where they run the Gavin Newsom and then they put AOC as like the vice president or something. Oh crap. Okay, running out of food, dude. Okay, we got 10 minutes to shut this Shut the show down. Here we go. All right. So the Texas two-step went up to 620, 700, 670, um, $675,000. So it doesn't mean that I didn't win anything. It just I definitely didn't win the jackpot. But that doesn't mean I didn't win $10 to $100 or whatever. All right. Yeah. Got attack rolling. Hey now, don't dream it's over. They come to build a wall between us. You know that they won't win. Neil Flynn and Crowded House. Yeah, classic. Jacob Fry, that guy's an idiot. Wah, wah. Okay. Let's hit the sack and not the crack, unless you're hitting butt crack. That's a good crack to hit, but not crack rock. Yeah, I don't think I farted because it smelled like a really bad fart. I think Tula farted because I was like in Tula's pallet with her blankets, and then I smelled something real like just like a shit. It's like just ass. I was like, I know I didn't do that. I know my ass didn't smell that bad. I know my breath doesn't smell that bad. Tula farted. She let loose one of those Those dog farts. Those yeah, those bad boys pretty rank. Those those wolf farts, man. I mean, I haven't smelled the different farts that all the animals in the world do, but you know, I haven't worked in a zoo before. So some guy goes around smelling the different. Well, the zebra has a kind of a tangy fart, and he's like, well, the giraffe has a pretty smooth fart, aromatically speaking. It's like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, or something. Alrighty then. Yeah, I mean, I consider Obama just to be a race grifter. I mean, basically, what his whole political career was, in a nutshell. Excuse me. Yeah, today was so beautiful. All the neighborhood association, everybody was out, and there were these two older ladies, and I knew that Bella was gonna freak out when they came by. They were checking out to replace a lot of the 1980s fences because this condo neighborhood was built in 1983. So a lot of the fences and a lot of the patios have to be replaced because they're as old as 1983. And so they were checking the fences to see what order they're going to be done in and all that. And they introduced themselves, and they're very sweet, older ladies. And so wasn't exactly Babe Watch today. Wasn't exactly. It wasn't really, what I dreamed of. I mean, it wasn't like, hi, we're the new college girls that just moved in, or it wasn't like that. Hi, we're the big titted, green eyed blonde girls that just moved in next door. Now it wasn't that great, but it wasn't Baywatch or Babe Watch, but it was a pleasant day. It was. I knew the whole like everybody was going to be out. Anybody that could like walk was going to be out. Pretty much anybody who wasn't crippled was going to be out the door. So this day was gorgeous. Yeah. Okay. We got 3 minutes to midnight on the nuclear clock. Oh, 11 minutes to midnight. 3 minutes to midnight. But we're not counting down for the new year. It's New Year's already been here for almost 16 days. Yeah, but at least nobody got killed in a terror attack. Like, so you didn't wake up next day and say, "Oh, somebody rented a U-Haul truck and plowed it through a crowd and had a machine gun and killed whatever." It was it was a lot of people, right? It was like, was it 20 people killed or something? It was a lot. It was at least 10 plus. 2 minutes to midnight. And we're going to kill the moose. Uh-oh. Keep missing. Missing the moose. Missing the moose. Oh, I got the heat-seeking key sideball, so that's good. There's no escape for you, moose. All right. Midnight and done, huh? God bless and best of success. Good night. Let's go ahead and we'll go on the quest for the last heart. Tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Peace.